This weekend, it's the men's and women's Tour of Flanders. For many, including pretty much all of Belgium, this is the biggest day of the cycling season. We've got 10 riders we think you should keep an eye on. Surely they can't all be hit by the GCN curse, right? The reigning Olympic champion has admittedly struggled to match his incredible run of results in last year's classics, in which he won Omloop, E3, Ghent-Wevelgem and Paris-Roubaix. But we mustn't rule him out at Flanders, a race in which he has come so close to winning in the past. His performance in the recent E3 Harelbeke showed his strength as he led the chase of the quick-step duo of NIKI Terpstra and Yves Lampaert, before eventually winning the group sprint for third. Will this be the year Van AVERMAET delights the Belgian fans with victory? Arguably the most consistent performer in the modern peloton, the triple world champion has finished in the top 10 of 12 of the 17 races he started this season. His ability to win sprints after a long, difficult race is unparalleled. Just look at his dominant win at Ghent-Wevelgem as an example. But he's also more than capable of riding strong on his own, holding off Fabian Cancellara and Sepp van Mark in the 2016 Tour of Flanders to take his maiden monument win. He's been critical of his rivals marking him out of contention in races this year, and of course it will be no different on Sunday, but time will tell how he and his Bora Hansgrohe team will deal with it. The manner in which Terpstra won E3 was probably the most impressive ride of the year so far. Holding off a group of the best classics riders in the world for 71 kilometres was reminiscent of his teammate Philippe Gilbert's winning move in the Tour of Flanders last year. The Dutchman knows he'll have to arrive solo in Oudenaarde to have any chance of winning, but after last Friday it will be hard to bet against him. Last year's Tour of Flanders winner comes in as part of the Quick-Step Floors wolf pack that have dominated this year's classic season. Gilbert is capable of winning solo, as he showed last year, but he still packs a powerful sprint after a tough race as well. Unlike several of his teammates, he was left out of the lineup for the midweek race Dwars door Vlaanderen, with the expectation that he'll arrive on the start line of De Ronde fresh and ready to defend his title. It's hard to believe that this year's Strade Bianche was the young Belgian's first professional win. Such has been his impact since he burst onto the scene in 2015. Benoot can count on the guidance of none other than Lotto Soudal's new technical advisor Tom Bonen this season, and if anyone knows how to win in Flanders, it's Tommeke. Benoot is probably the best climber out of all the favourites for this race, so look for him to push the pace whenever the road rises. That's the men, now let's look at 5 women who are in with a shout on Sunday. With last year's winner Corinne Rivera seeming to struggle for form this season, the leadership of the impressive Team Sunweb will potentially fall on the shoulders of Ellen van Dijk. Van Dijk has already taken impressive solo wins this season at Omloop van het Hageland and Dwars door Vlaanderen, and will look to use her famous time trialling power once again to ride away for victory on Sunday. Door's lowest finish in a race this year was 11th at the Ronde van Drenthe. The Belgian champion is unquestionably a rider in form, and everybody will be keeping an eye on her for the Tour of Flanders. Door has clearly thrived, having switched to Mitchelton Scott in the off-season, and she will be supported by the likes of Gracie Elvin and world time trial champion Annemiek van Vleuten on Sunday. Can anyone beat her? Realistically, we could pick any member of the Boels-Tolmans team here, such as their strength in depth, but Black's third place in last year's Tour of Flanders, and of course the rainbow bands on her back, gets her a place on our list. Expect to see the Orange Armada all over the front on Sunday, as they will look to drop the strongest sprinters before the finish to give Black a better shot at riding to victory. The most successful female rider of all time has been beset by persistent injuries and has struggled to rekindle her best form in recent years. Incredibly, she hasn't won a World Tour race since Stage 4 of the Aviva Women's Tour in June 2016. But you count out the European champion at your own peril, and her third place at this year's Trofeo Binder shows she's still a force to be reckoned with. An impressive stat for you here, and some food for thought. She's finished the Ronde 5 times in her career, finishing 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th and 6th in those 5 editions. The 2015 Tour of Flanders winner is a consistently dangerous rider at the top level of women's racing. Her palmarès perhaps belies her full potential as a rider, although at 26 years of age there is still plenty of time to build on her 14 professional wins to date. Her consistency tells us that she has the ability to get herself into the right place at the right time more often than not, which is a crucial skill on the narrow roads and the steep cobble climbs that epitomise the Tour of Flanders. There you have it, our 10 riders to watch. All that's left to do now is sit back and watch with anticipation on Sunday. Make sure you don't miss it. We've got plenty of videos all about the Cobble Classics coming up on the channel over the next week or so. And to celebrate, we've got limited edition t-shirts available in the GCN online shop right now. Click on the links on screen to find out more.